Well, alrighty. Okay. We are alrighty. So, hopefully, the lag is not nearly as bad as it was yesterday in the live stream. Okay? So, anyone that does join this live stream, if anyone does join this live stream, I want to thank you for that. So, if you do end up joining this live stream to any of my subscribers, I do want to thank you very much. So, and also if I do sound nasally, it is turning spring, so a lot of allergies are coming around. Okay, so I have a lot of trees outside of my house that are blooming, and it makes me all stuffy. So, but I did want to make a live stream because I haven't made a video in a very long time. So, it does look like we already have one viewer. Thank you to that one viewer that is viewing this live stream right now. So thank you very much. All right. So, to start off, as you saw in the title, if you saw the title, we are talking about what is my favorite type of tortoise out of all the tortoises in the world. Okay, now it's very hard for me to choose that, but whenever it comes to it, it's probably going to be the red-footed tortoise because the red-footed tortoise is a very special tortoise to me, and they are just very social. They love people. If you guys view my channel, you know that Sheldon loves people. Uh, he's just the greatest little tortoise ever. And they don't get to that big of a size. They're still like a good size. Like they still get like about this long, but they're not gonna get to that big, sulcata, aldabra, or Galapagos size, or even leopard tortoise size, where they're gonna be too much to handle. And of course, a leopard tortoise is always not going to be the tortoise that you should really pick, just because you're going to need like a horse stall to put them in the winter time. And most people don't have that size. So, yeah, you definitely don't want to get a leopard tortoise, even though they are a very beautiful tortoise, don't get me wrong. They still are, a lot to handle. And with a beginner, that's, probably not the best option. But something like Sheldon, the red-footed tortoise, he is a perfect example of something you should get because although they may be a little big, they're not like, as I just talked about, the, leopard tortoise, sulcata, or aldabra, or even Galapagos, where they're huge. Now, the average person won't really get their hands on Aldabra or Galapagos, but I'm just saying for how big wise and care wise, you definitely don't want to get those to start off with. But anyways, Sheldon, the red-footed tortoise, he is a really I love working with red-footed tortoises. I plan to eventually get more just because they are a wonderful and forgiving species to work with. Although there are some care requirements that I do prefer, like good humidity, and that's kind of hard to get here where I live. So you just have to look at those small things and add them together and say, okay, can I care for this tortoise? Do I have the space? Do I have the time? And do I have, the money? Of course, because whenever it comes to that, if you even have kids, that adds a lot, okay? Sheldon with his food, I mean, spring mix is not really that much money, to be honest. Like, it's not really, you have your collard greens, your mustard greens, and you can pick up a spring mix and occasionally your romaine lettuce. And it's really not that much when you put it together. But if you have a bunch of other animals, like I have 5 animals, plus chickens, plus a cat and a dog, it can add up a lot. So, that's what you have to think about when you're getting, a big tortoise or another tortoise. is about the size, I mean, the money, all the things that you're spending on at this moment. If you're going to add another thing with a big other group, because you have to think enclosure. Are you really wanting to spend that much money on an enclosure? So, just look at the small things and say, okay, I'm already spending a lot of money on this animal. Do I really want to get this animal to spend a whole bunch more? Because you have to think about how much you're going to spend on the enclosure, food, water dish, things like that. So, by the way, the two that are viewing, thank you for leaving a like on this live stream. And please let me know if it gets laggy, because sometimes the live stream can get laggy. So, in the live chat, if it does end up getting laggy, please go ahead and let me know, just so I can fix it, or at least try to fix it. So, or if you guys have any questions, leave it in the live chat, because I can most definitely answer any questions you have about any, turtles or tortoises. I would be more than happy to answer them. So, Sheldon is, he is probably, I would say, around almost like, he's more like a sub-adult. He, I think is 8 years old. I don't know the exact age, but I believe he's 8 or 9, because the lady that gave him to me, I think said he was 9 at the time. No, 8 at the time, and now he is 9 because I've had him for a year, so he's at least 9 or 10 that I know of. 9. So I don't quite know when his birthday is, but anyways, the red-footed tortoise is going to be, it's not going to be too much, okay? That's why I prefer them. Is because you won't regret getting them, is what I mean. Because they're a very very good. They're like, the coloration on them is wonderful. And so yeah, I honestly, Sheldon, I'll have to show you guys in other videos sometimes. He has like a just great big tub, like a great big, like big tote that I put substrate, food, water dish in, and I sometimes have a heat lamp over it depending on how warm my room gets, and I have light coming in my room, so yeah, at least some light, and it works perfectly. But you don't want to keep them in a dark situation. It's not that good for them. You want UVB for them, so that's why try to keep them outside as best as possible. And also keep in mind that the red-footed tortoise does not hibernate. That's why it's a biggie whenever it comes to that, is that they do not hibernate, so you're gonna have to get an indoor situation. Okay, so like some tortoises, do hibernate, like it's really called brumation. So it's like hibernation for reptiles. And so, yeah, so Sheldon, his enclosure's right over here. He is like, and all easy to care for me. You can think of them as, and you've probably heard this before if you watch other videos on turtles and tortoises. You can think of them as, a big box turtle, okay? They red-footed tortoises love water, okay? It's a big friend. I've seen after a good rain, like last summer, or like late spring, when Sheldon's outside, there'll be a big rain, and as soon as I come out there, he will be in the puddles, and he will be like almost sunk into the dirt, and I'm like, buddy, you're dirty. So yeah, they also love getting dirty. I know that from experience. Sheldon loves getting dirty. So yeah, in all, that's why the red-footed tortoise is my favorite, just because of their personality and all of that. But and let me try to get you guys a picture of a red-footed tortoise real quick. Can you guys still see me? Okay, was hoping that you could. Okay. Alright. Check back in on you guys. Okay. Alright. And they're an absolutely beautiful tortoise. Let's see. How is this going to work here? Where I can show you. So, how are we gonna do this? So, basically, I'm going to put it on a slide, and I'm sure you guys have seen a red-footed tortoise before on my channel, but I just want to give you guys a really good look at one. So you guys can get a good idea of what one looks like. Okay, and search the web. Okay. Where's a good picture of one? Where's a good picture? Oh, here's a good one, I guess. Oh. Okay, so, sorry to keep you guys waiting for so long. Share, slideshow, and there we go. In the live chat if it's getting laggy. So, I'll give you guys a minute if it's getting laggy to let me know in the live chat, and if it isn't, we can move on. So, this is the red-footed tortoise. Beautiful, beautiful tortoise. It is a quite fascinating, and this is what I'm talking about whenever I say red-footed tortoise, okay? It is absolutely amazing. You get those vibrant colors, you know, the red, you get the yellow on the top of the head, and, you know, that slick, smooth shell. You should see them right after they get, soaked. And it is just a beautiful, beautiful tortoise. And you can almost tell how they're not, you know, the biggest size ever. Okay? They're a pretty good size. And they are in my experience, a good forgiving species. But they can be a little tricky sometimes, a little ornery. But in general, these are a wonderful, beautiful tortoise. So that's a good image of them. There we go. So, back on here. So, so, I'm gonna give you guys something here. No, or already. Oh, what's this? Here you go. A little thing I put up here. What is one thing I want you guys to put in the live chat? What is one thing you guys know about the red-footed tortoise? What is? Okay, there we go. All right. So if you guys want to answer that question, you are more than welcome to. So yeah. So yeah, if you want to answer that, you can. I'm not gonna force you to, of course. But so yeah, if you want to tell me, what is one thing or if it makes it even better, what is one thing that you find very fascinating about the red-footed tortoise? Or does anyone at home want a red-footed tortoise, or anything about that? You can leave it in the chat or tell me about it. If you have a red-footed tortoise, just let me know. And because personally, I think a red-footed tortoise is a great pet for you, and it's honestly probably one of the best decisions I've ever made is getting a red-footed tortoise. Just because I gotta take a drink real quick. Just because you get a good personality, it's almost like they're almost like, you can think of them as a puppy with a shell and scales. That's how I like to think of them, because they are absolutely, social, and they absolutely love people, and you know, they it's almost hard to explain. They Hold on, I was just checking in on Sheldon. Okay, so yeah, red-footed tortoises, they are a very good species to work with, and better yet, there is a yellow-footed tortoise that is their cousin. Basically, you can think of it that way, and yeah, they're pretty cool. So, if you guys liked this live stream, I know it kind of took me a while to explain about them, but thank you for the one that is still viewing. So has anyone answered this question and answer? Looks like not, but that's fine. That's absolutely fine. So confirm and okay. So I want to thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you all in the next one. So, we just got one more viewer there. So, anyways, thank you guys very, very, very much for watching, and think about subscribing to my channel, because that would really support my channel and let me know that you guys enjoy my videos. Okay, we're about to hit 200 subscribers, so continue to share my channel, and I'll see you on the next one. Have a wonderful rest of your day, and maybe think about one day getting a red-footed tortoise, because it might just be the right tortoise for you. See you on the next one.